close your eyes for a moment, or keep them open and lose yourself in the mist. Imagine a world where the clock doesn't tick, it breathes. Here, time isn't measured in minutes or hours, but in the slow retreat of a glacier, or the 1,000-year growth of a Sitka spruce. You have just crossed the threshold into the last frontier. It is a place so impossibly vast that it makes the bustling cities and crowded streets of our daily lives feel like a distant, flickering memory. Alaska isn't just a point on a map, it is a living, breathing giant sprawled across the top of the world, slumbering under a blanket of snow and waking in a riot of summer green. Listen. Listen to that silence. In the modern world, we've forgotten what true silence sounds like. But out here, silence isn't empty. It's heavy. It's a physical presence. It is the weight of the wind filtering through billions of ancient pine needles. It is the distant, haunting groan of 1,000 tons of ice shifting under its own tectonic pressure. It is the sound of a world that doesn't need us to keep turning. We aren't just looking at scenery today. We are stepping into a cathedral of the natural world. This is a story written in the language of stone and tooth, a narrative spanning millions of years, authored by the slow crawl of glaciers and the steady heartbeat of the Grizzly. Look at those mountains. They aren't just rocks. They are the jagged teeth of the earth, biting into the sky. They have watched empires rise and fall in the time it takes for one layer of frost to settle on their peaks. Take a deep breath. Feel that? That's air that hasn't been touched by a city in 1,000 miles. It's crisp, it's sharp, and it's pure. Let it fill your lungs and clear the digital noise from your mind. Whether you are here seeking a sanctuary of peace after a draining day, or you're here to witness the raw, unyielding power of a land that refuses to be tamed, you have arrived. The door to the modern world has closed behind you. The path ahead is unpaved, unpredictable, and breathtaking. Pull the blanket a little tighter. Lower the lights. Let the scale of this place remind you that your worries, while real, are small in the shadow of a mountain. Welcome to the true wild. Welcome to Alaska. As we move deeper into the heart of the forest, the air grows thick with a different kind of energy. You can feel it before you see it. It is the feeling of being watched, not by something hostile, but by a land that is vibrantly, intensely alive. In this wilderness, there is an ancient hierarchy. It wasn't written in books, but in the soil and the stream. And here, we must be humble enough to realize that we are at the very bottom of it. Look at the grizzly. To us, he is the undisputed king of the north, a mountain of muscle and fur. But to the river, he is simply another part of the seasonal clock. Notice the way he stands in the rushing water. There is no wasted motion. To watch a bear track a salmon is like watching a master clockmaker at work. Every tilt of the head, every subtle shift of weight, every lightning-fast strike is a display of precision, patience, and raw power. He doesn't fight the river. He waits for it to provide. He understands a secret we often forget, that greatness is often found in the ability to sit still and wait for the right moment. But Alaska's soul isn't only found in its heavy hitters. Look up. High above, where the air thins and the wind turns cold, a bald eagle circles. A mile up, she sees the world in a way we never will. A tapestry of silver rivers and emerald forests, a kingdom without borders. To her, the vastness isn't intimidating. It's an invitation. Then there is the moose, a creature of contradictions. It is a massive, towering figure, yet it moves through the densest thickets like a ghost, barely snapping a twig. There is a dignified clumsiness to the moose, a reminder that beauty doesn't always have to be sleek. It can be rugged. It can be weathered. It can be strange. These animals don't just inhabit this land. They are the land. They are the physical manifestation of the tundra's heartbeat. They don't have busy days. They don't have deadlines. They have the cycle. They have the sun, the hunger, and the rest. As you sit here, miles away from the nearest road or the nearest screen, try to do something difficult. Try to match your breathing to their pace. Don't look at the time. Don't think about the next chapter. Just breathe, slow, steady, unhurried. Feel the way the meadow grass ripples in the wind, mimicking the coat of the wolf or the mane of the bear. In this moment, you aren't an observer. You are part of the scenery. You are a guest in a home that has been standing since the beginning of time. Let the power of these silent giants settle over you. There is a profound peace in knowing that out here, in the corners of the earth where humans are rare, life continues in its most perfect, unadulterated form. If you lean in and look closely at the face of a glacier, you'll see a color that shouldn't exist in nature. It's a blue so dense and so deep it feels like the ocean itself held its breath and simply froze in place. This isn't the blue of the sky or the blue of a tropical wave. This is the blue of pressure. These blue heartbeats are composed of snow that fell hundreds, even thousands of years ago. Layer upon layer, the weight of time has squeezed every single air bubble out of the ice, leaving behind a crystalline structure that absorbs every color of the spectrum, except for this haunting, electric indigo. You aren't just looking at ice, you are looking at history under a microscope. These are rivers made of time. While a normal river rushes and tumbles, a glacier flows with a patient, unstoppable momentum. It moves only inches a day, but it carries the weight of entire mountain ranges. Listen, the silence here is deceptive. Beneath the surface, the glacier is screaming. It groans, it pops, it sighs. And then, without warning, the crack. It sounds like a gunshot echoing off a canyon wall. That is the sound of calving. A block of ice the size of a city apartment shears off the face and surrenders to the gravity of the sea. When it hits the water, the sound isn't a splash. It's a thud you feel in your chest. It's a violent, beautiful reminder that even something as massive as a mountain of ice is a living, changing thing. This is nature's grandest cycle of recycling. As these giants move, they act as the ultimate sculptors of the earth. They don't just sit in the valleys. They create them. They grind granite into dust. They carve the deep fjords and the U-shaped valleys that define the Alaskan landscape. Every jagged peak you see in the distance was once smoothed and shaped by the very ice you see before you. As the sun hits the frozen peaks, watch the light play off the ridges. It's a shimmering, diamond-like dance that has been happening since long before we arrived and will continue long after we are gone. In the presence of a glacier, our human sense of time begins to dissolve. We realize that we are brief visitors in a world built on a much grander scale. Close your eyes and listen to the drip of the meltwater. Every drop is a tiny piece of the past being released back into the cycle of the present. It's the sound of the world renewing itself. Sit with this cold majesty for a while. Let the stillness of the ice move through you. In a world that is always rushing, there is a profound medicine in watching something that takes 1,000 years just to travel a single mile. Now feel the air change. The stillness of the glaciers is behind us, replaced by a sudden electric surge of energy. Can you hear that? That frantic, joyful chorus of yaps and howls? This isn't just noise. This is the song of the North. This is the soul of the Alaskan winter. And it has a heartbeat. Look into their eyes. For a husky or a Malamute, the sled isn't a task. It isn't a job. It is a primal calling. These dogs were bred for this, not just to survive the cold, but to thrive in it, to dominate it. When the harnesses come out, you aren't seeing animals being put to work. You are seeing athletes reaching their purpose. They don't just want to run, they need to. There is an ancient, unbreakable bond here, a literal lifeline between human and dog, held together by a single rope and a tremendous amount of heart. In a world of GPS and high-octane fuel, this is the oldest engine in the Arctic. It doesn't run on gasoline. It runs on trust, instinct, and a shared will to keep moving forward. And then, the silence falls. Notice how the barking stops the very second the snow hook is pulled. The transition is jarringly beautiful. All that remains is the rhythmic, percussive drumbeat of 40 paws pounding against the packed snow. It is the sound of pure, unadulterated motion. Feel the runners of the sled glide over the crust of the earth. Out here, miles from the nearest paved road, miles from the nearest cell tower, the perspective shifts. You begin to realize that survival in Alaska isn't about fighting the cold. It's not about conquering the elements. It's about moving with them. The dogs don't fight the wind. They lean into it. They don't struggle against the snow. They dance across it. There is a profound lesson in the way they work as a team. Each dog has a role. The leaders who find the trail, the swing dogs who help the sled turn, and the wheel dogs who provide the raw, churning power at the back. It is a perfect symphony of cooperation, where the individual disappears into the collective strength of the pack. Watch the way the light catches the spray of ice kicked up by their heels. Look at the focus in their ears, pinned back against the wind. In this moment, you are traveling exactly the same way people have traveled across this frozen expanse for over 1,000 years. You are part of a lineage of explorers, mushers, and survivors. Let the rhythm of the trail hypnotize you. Let the steady whoosh of the sled runners act as your mantra. Out here, in the white silence, the only thing that matters is the next mile, the next turn, and the steady breath of the team in front of you. This is the spirit of the trail. It's raw, it's honest, and it is the most alive you will ever feel. As the sun finally retreats below the jagged horizon, the world begins to change. It's a quiet transformation. The sky bruises into shades of plum, amethyst, and a deep royal purple, colors so rich and so fleeting you couldn't find them in a paint store if you tried. The shadows of the spruce trees stretch out like long, dark fingers reaching for the center of our camp. And here, in the deepening chill of the subarctic night, we gather around the one thing that has stood between humanity and the unknown since the very beginning: the fire. There is a reason we find it impossible to look away from a flame. It is our oldest companion. It was the first light in the darkness, the first kitchen, and the first sanctuary. In Alaska, the fire isn't just a luxury, it is a lifeline. It is the boundary line between the wild and the home. Watch the flames. Look at how they lick at the bark, tasting the wood before consuming it. Notice the way the logs settle with a heavy, satisfying thud, sending a fountain of sparks spiraling into the air. We call these Alaskan fireflies. They look like tiny stray stars trying to find their way back home to the Milky Way. Listen. The campfire is the ultimate storyteller, though it speaks in a language of crackles, pops, and whispers. Each hiss of steam is the voice of the forest, releasing the moisture and the memories of the day's journey into the night air. It's a rhythmic, ancient white noise that bypasses the modern brain and speaks directly to something deeper within us. This is the moment to perform a small ritual. Imagine taking every worry, every unanswered email, every to-do list, and every digital distraction that has been cluttering your mind and tossing them into the center of the coals. Watch them turn to ash. Watch them vanish. Out here, those things have no weight. They have no power. In the glow of the embers, the world shrinks to a very simple, very beautiful size. It is just the warmth, the wood, and the wilderness. There is a profound medicine in this stillness. As the heat radiates outward, feel it loosening the tension in your shoulders. Let your eyes go soft as you track the dancing orange light. You aren't just watching a fire. You are participating in a tradition of rest that is as old as the mountains themselves. Take a slow, deep breath of that wood-scented air. The cold may be just a few feet away, but in this circle of light, you are safe. You are grounded. You are exactly where you need to be. As the logs turn to glowing orange cathedrals and the night air settles, let the warmth sink into your bones. The journey was long. The sights were vast. But here, by the embers, is where we find our center. And then, just as the world reaches its coldest, darkest hour, the sky wakes up. If the jagged mountains we've traveled through are the Earth's bones, then what you are seeing now is its spirit. Some call it the aurora borealis. Some call it the northern lights. But to stand beneath it is to witness a celestial dance that defies every word we have for beauty. Look at the colors. It's as if the universe has spilled glowing neon ink across a vast velvet canvas of deep space. But this isn't just light, it's a cosmic conversation. These ribbons of emerald green and royal purple are actually the result of solar winds crashing into our atmosphere. An invisible shield protecting the world, while putting on a silent, spectacular show. Notice how the lights don't just sit there. They breathe, they ripple, they curtain and fold. One moment, they are a soft, ghostly wisp of lime. The next, they are a violent, snapping ribbon of magenta that moves with a speed that seems impossible for something so large. It is a silent symphony. There is no music up there, yet your mind begins to invent a melody to match the movement. It is a profoundly humbling sight. It is the moment where the last frontier of Alaska meets the frontier of the infinite. It reminds us, in the most gentle way possible, that we are part of something much bigger than our daily struggles. A vast, beautiful, and mysterious galaxy that is constantly in motion. Stay a while. Don't look away. Let the sheer, staggering scale of this light show settle into your soul. In the city, the lights come from the ground and hide the stars. Here, the lights come from the heavens and reveal the truth of where we are. As you watch the curtains of green sway over the peaks, you'll find that the boundary between you and the wilderness begins to fade. You aren't just a spectator anymore. You aren't just a guest. By simply being here, by witnessing this rare and ancient light, you have become a part of the wilderness itself. You are woven into the fabric of the North. Take one last deep, frozen breath. Carry this light back with you. Let it be a reminder that even in the darkest, coldest nights, there is a hidden brilliance waiting to be seen, if only you are patient enough to wait for it. Thank you for journeying through the wild with us. The mountains will still be here. The glaciers will still be moving. And the lights will always be waiting for your return. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon